Hey guys, we're going to do the monthly tarot read. I know some of you have been looking forward to this. I'm finally going to get back into reading your signs, and I'm going to start with Capricorn. Let's just get right to it. So first, we're going to read overall energies with the Rider-Waite. So we're going to kind of look at that for Capricorn. So we're going to pull a few cards from this deck. I'm going to be pulling from multiple decks. We're going to look at a little bit of everything. Oh, it's fun to shuffle. I feel pretty good about Capricorn this month. I'm looking forward to this because this will be my month too. Okay, good. Got that. Let's cut the deck right there. And let's see. We're going to pull 3 cards. What we've got for the month. Ooh, wow. Okay, let's see what we're looking at. Okay. So a little bit of the energy going on for Capricorn this month. We've got a little bit of concern when I see the Ace of Swords. So we want to be really careful with communication with others, because another card that is popping up is the 5 of Wands. So Capricorn, you may experience a little bit of conflict this month. I'm looking more possibly in a work situation. And we're going to look at career a little bit there. I feel an opportunity that is going to present itself to you with that Ace of Pentacles. This could cause a little bit of conflict with others. Maybe they feel like you don't deserve it. Maybe they feel it's all about getting to the top and this and that. And so it may be tempting to say some negative things and kind of get into battle and so forth. So we want to be really careful and watch our tongue and so forth. But you may feel a little bit of competition coming your way. And one of the things about that, I know you like to be on top. I certainly understand that. But sometimes other people may get ahead of you and everything. So try to be careful with that, Capricorn, as that when people, if they do start getting ahead of you, don't try to push them down. Don't try to get resentful and things like that. I know this is very important to you to be successful in everything, but sometimes other people, it's their time to shine. So we always want to be very respectful of that. Now we're going to look at Baby Thoth. We're going to we've got the energy kind of for the month, a little bit of conflict that may pop up there and arise, okay? So we're going to get a little Thoth energy, which is very direct deck, does not care if it hurts your feelings. Okay, let's focus. I want to see good things for you, though. But sometimes people may get ahead of you when you're climbing the mountain. Just got to keep going. Okay, let's go ahead and see what kind of energies. We're going to pull 5 cards from this one. What kind of spirit is saying here? Or some things kind of popping up in here. I do have the 2 of Cups, so love is going to pop up in the picture and so forth. And I've got a little bit of lust popping in there too. So I feel sexual energy here with this combination. Okay, so a lot of passion and a lot of drive is going to be in there, with this month. With a relationship, it feels it's going to be very good. It's going to be very hot, intense. Now, if this is a new relationship coming in, this could be, I almost get a 50 Shades of Grey energy with this. When I see lust in the love card combined with that 2 of Cups energy, that it could be some really hot stuff. And I know sometimes Capricorn is not, they're so focused on work and they're so focused on everything, that they don't always have time for love and stuff. But this month is going to be some hot stuff. We've got that Scorpio energy. There's a lot of sexual energy in that, a lot of passion and fire. Now, I want you to be really careful because I do also have the Seven of Cups. You may be letting a little too loose, okay, during this month with some of these energies, with this kind of lust and passion and everything like that. So be really careful. But I feel like some of you Capricorns are like, so, you've been working so hard, and you're maybe getting a little frustrated with some of the conflict at work. You might do a little drinking, you might do a little partying to kind of shake off some of the tension. Just be real careful with that. Don't pick up a lifelong habit or anything like that. With that Prince of Cups energy, I feel like emotions are going to be very heightened. We're going to need to get them balanced and so forth. So we got to kind of be careful with some of this stuff. We might feel, like I said, we might feel the need to party and indulge in sex and things like that. And I feel like this is not always your character necessarily that we do this. Now, but one of the things about this, with the Six of Swords energy, this is also the Science card, but this is about moving away from troubled water. So one of the things we want to do is try to avoid some of the trouble of this energy here with some of this conflict that's going on. Try to be careful with that. We want to move away from troubled water. We want to get into a good position. We want to make sure we do not take any kind of actions that could jeopardize our standing in the world is kind of what I'm hearing from the spirit. Make sure we don't do anything too crazy and so forth. So really watch that. I feel an opportunity. Now, I don't want you to think down on the whole read or anything, because the Ace of Pentacles is still an opportunity. I feel that we're going for and so forth. But don't, if people start getting ahead of you, that's kind of my feel. Like if people start getting ahead of you, don't freak out or anything like that. That it's going to happen. You can't be number one all the time. I guess that's one of the messages. And I could even relate to that. You can't be number one all the time. Okay, so let's pull a little bit from the angel deck, and we'll go ahead and see what the angels have to say on this. A little bit lighter of a read. So we're dealing with like the intensity of thought, but I also want to soften things up here with a little bit of an angel read. Okay. Okay. So the good thing is you've got the Magician. Magician is one of my favorite cards. That's all about intent and manifestation. And you're such a go-getter that you should feel very good about your manifestation this month. I feel like finances should be good, but I do get the Four of Earth in there. That still is, I feel, good finances, good management, but just be careful the spending. One of the things that's coming up, what is coming up, right? Christmas is coming up in a couple months. In November, a lot of people do their shopping during then. So this is not the time to go totally crazy, okay? Buying a whole bunch of stuff and everything like that. Be very careful with the finances, because there could be some things upcoming, especially going into the next year, that you need to take care of. So you want to be very careful. Don't spend too much. Don't be too crazy. It's very important and stuff. Just kind of budget. Say, just for example, when it comes to Christmas and taking care of everybody, a flat number that you're like, this is what I will spend, and I will not go beyond this. Because if you just keep going, and everything, you get on Amazon and you start buying everybody everything, I feel you could get carried away and stuff. And one of the things you like to do is take care of everybody. Capricorn likes to take care of everybody, and they also very often like to show their love through gifts and appreciation and so forth. That is something they'd like to do. And so one of the things is just be very cautious on that. Now, I've also got the Unity card. That is my spiritual teacher. That is also the Hierophant. So one of the things is, if any of you as spiritualists are teachers in some way, there could be some really good insights could be coming to you to really get some good viewpoints out there to be able to help people and to educate them. You may even be doing this in your work in very subtle ways, adding the spiritual into the physical. So I feel that you are a leader in many ways. So bringing a little bit of the spiritual is going to give you a good balance, a good ratio with putting this into work. I feel this will help, especially dealing with the conflict. But one of the things, the Ten of Fire, is a little bit of a warning of not taking on so much. Now, I noticed that, that's what I'm thinking, is there's going to be a lot of work to do. The Ten of Fire energy is to carry heavy burden and do almost too much work, too much going on. And then what you're going to do is you're going to kind of rebel against it and we're going to get into, you know, some of the energies with the relationship. And maybe some of you aren't in a relationship and you go for a one night stand. Okay, you got to be careful with that. We got that debauch card here. We got that lust card. So be careful with that. Now, if this is a partner you already have and you guys get a little wild, great. But be careful. Don't be going out looking for one night stands and letting loose because you've been so uptight, work, and you're stressed out and you just lose your shit. Okay, we don't want to do that. We want to be very careful with that. Definitely very careful. So we're going to look at some more energies. I think the Starry Beginnings would be a good deck to go for now, to kind of look at some of the energies that we're going to be going on. So I've got the card, You Are Unlimited. That does not surprise me with Capricorn. They're all about climbing up the mountain and everything. You are unlimited. So that's a really good energy there. Just remember that your potential is unsurpassed. And remember, love is the key. So as we're kind of going forward, we're going to be dealing with family and all kinds of things. If you have a little bit of, say the conflict is with family, that's a potential. Love is the key. Just be very loving about everything going forward. And I've also got the card Time to Do It Differently. And see, that's what I'm saying. I feel you're going to hit, you know, a kind of a point there when it's just to be like you're so exhausted for work, you might start doing some things that are out of your character and stuff. Make sure they are positive things that you do differently, though. Okay, you know, that's what Spirit is saying. No, you should do things differently. You're taking on too much. You're involved in conflict, and we don't want to be doing this here. We don't want to be losing it and everything and going totally debauch here. Okay, so we want to do some things differently. We need a good, healthy balance, especially between work and play. I feel like work and play, you know, taking time for you and taking time off, you know, and everything. Hopefully, you know, you get, you know, the Thanksgiving and Friday off, for example, that weekend, so you could kind of relax and have all those days to yourself and everything like that. But we definitely need to do some things differently, you know, differently. Let's look a little bit more. I would like to look a little bit more at love. So we're going to pull from our romance deck and kind of see what's going on. Okay. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I've got that Seven of Cups again, which is the Seven of Hearts in this one. So we got to be really careful that we're not like so stressed out that we're dealing with intoxicants and things like that that could affect the relationship. Okay, we want to be really careful with that. Okay, but I've got that Hierophant energy. I feel relationships could be good right now. The Hierophant really yokes the lovers together in union and so forth, which is really good energies for love, you know. But we also, you know, we want to take the higher ground with our relationship. Now, Seven of Pentacles, I feel growth in the relationship. It's going very subtle. It's going good and everything like that. But we got to keep nurturing it. One of the things about the Seven of Pentacles, sometimes if we're a little bit neglectful in certain areas, our relationship may not grow very well. And I feel like Capricorn has a hard time with relationships at times when it comes to nurturing the relationship, because they're so busy about their goals and dreams and so forth, that kind of returning and prioritizing a relationship, they don't always do that. That very often can go on the back burner when it comes to goals, dreams, work, career, and things like that. There is such a desire and a need for stability and working at that stability constantly with the Saturn energies that are there, that it can be very difficult and very challenging that to be able to focus. It's like there's this thing that if I focus too much on a relationship, I will neglect other areas of my life and things will fall apart. That's just not necessarily so. We just have to kind of balance everything. We got to balance out. So I feel that that is one of the key things that we're going to deal with this month, is how can I balance, you know, everything with my work life and my goals and dreams and my priorities that I've got going on, and achieving my stability and everything in the world, but still have a good solid relationship that I'm putting my time and energy into. But don't forget, no matter what, we also don't want to forget to take time for ourselves. Okay, we still got to squeeze that in, you know, a good balance. We need a good balance in here and so forth. And let's go ahead and look at the Lover's Oracle. We're covering a lot of ground with these reads, okay? And so we've got the card, You may not always understand why certain things happen. However, there is always a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. Okay, so that's your Lover's Oracle card. So there is going to be a blessing that is going to come your way. Like we've had some turmoil and some challenges. It's going to be a challenging month and everything. But then a blessing is going to come out of it. Something positive that is going to emerge. So we'll put that one there for that energy. And I also have the card, look inside yourself. What is causing you, examine what is causing you to feel this way. So I feel like we're going to be facing some heavy duty emotions here. You know, it's just kind of, you know, the exhaustion and so forth. But there is definitely a call, a need to prioritize relationship during this time, you know, and not be so self-focused, but you want to have a good balance that you don't want to totally lose focus of yourself either, if that makes sense. We don't want to do both those things here, because that could be a real challenge. We're going to pull from my new Moonology deck, which is kind of deal with some of the deeper emotions and the subconscious forces that we are going to be facing during this time. So I've got the card, Attend to the Details. Okay, so that has a little bit, and I'm actually Moon in Virgo. That's funny. Attend to the details. So really pay attention to the details that are going on during this time and everything with the work. Like really, like there's a lot of introspection, a lot of focus on your feelings. You know, with the conflict, rise above it and so forth. Pay attention to the details. Is there something in me causing some of the conflict that is going on? Is there an inner conflict that is manifesting on the outer? I also got the card, Be Humble. Be humble. So don't be too proud during this time. You know, especially in the work situation, I see that people, you know, it's okay to be proud, but you want to be careful that you're not gloating about it. Okay, that you're not necessarily gloating about it. And then I've also got, yep, there you go. Clear your mind. Clear your mind. So that's one of the key things. Some good meditation during this month would be really good. To really kind of sit there, focus, and kind of meditate on things. You know, what is really happening? What is causing me to feel this way? Where do I need to lighten up? We don't want to see you go into extremes that I've been working so hard and putting so much into this and that we just completely lose our stuff when we get off work and we start doing some crazy kind of energies. You know, we don't want that kind of energy going in. We want to be good. So let's look at a little bit more. Oh, where did it go? There it is. We're going to look at some shadow energies to face this month. You know, what is some shadow energies to face? Wow. Okay. So, no surprise for Capricorn, we got the Power card. So one of the things about that is, you know, you are a powerful being. You know, one of the things, you work very hard. You got that magician energy in there as well. That manifestation. I feel manifestation will still be very good this month. But see, what I was talking about, that kind of get wild kind of energy, I got the Outlaw. So we want to just, you know, kind of be careful with that and everything. You know, don't get too crazy. I feel like you might let loose a little too much and just rebel against the system completely. You know, we want to kind of be careful with that. And then just, there's going to be a moment probably at the end of the month, we just got to kind of surrender. And notice we got an eye there, you know, we got an eye there. So we want to just kind of surrender in the moment and stop trying to force everything. I feel a lot of, I'm trying to force everything to happen and do this, and I'm engaging conflict, and then I just kind of lose my stuff, and I kind of let loose, and I do some unpredictable things that are not quite my character, that are not quite my nature, things that I wouldn't normally have done. Now we can avoid that, you know, sometimes getting a reading, we can kind of avoid that, and we can kind of face that kind of energy, you know, looking forward and everything. And then let's look for a little bit of some light messages that are going on. I kind of looked at the shadow. Now let's look at some of the light messages. Yes, I got a lot of decks. So let's see what we've got. Yeah, so this is kind of your light language read here. So I've got the card Language of Light. So really kind of, I look at the word language of light. Remember what I talked about? Like being careful, impeccable with the word, being careful what you say this month to others, especially people that you work with. And then I've also got the card Golden Light Ray, Love and Laughter, Receiving and Giving Gifts, Passionate Projects. So definitely, I feel that's what I look, especially giving and receiving gifts makes perfect sense with Christmas. I already kind of warned you about that one. And that's one of the things, you are a giving person. So we just want to be kind of careful. And then passionate projects. I feel there's some projects you also want to do as well. Do the ones you're most passionate about, not necessarily ones that you want to do to make others happy. What projects make you happy? Okay, that's what and that should always be that way. Sometimes we want to make other people happy. That's the point of doing something. But I feel there's something, like if you've been wanting to write a book or something, that's something that you're passionate about, and you should do that. And then I've also got the Universal Macabre, A Sacred Purpose. You have the answer, lucid dreaming. So dreams may be very intense during this time, especially with that Scorpio energy. The dreams could be very intense at this time. So that's a lot of ground to cover. So I feel like a little bit of a letting loose. I feel it's okay to let loose, but I just feel it's like, don't go too crazy with it. I definitely get that energy. Don't go too crazy with it. I feel there a little bit, that outlaw energy makes me feel like, oh my God, I just rebel against everything. Kind of like, remember in Fight Club when he was just rebelling against, his whole, life, with his work and being there and sitting in front of a computer and having his IKEA furniture and his nice apartment and things like that. And he just rebelled against it all. We don't want to have a break like that, Capricorn. So we want to be careful with that. We just need to have a good balance. We need to have a good balance. And I feel some extremes we're going to deal with, and we're going to have to fight to bring him to balance and so forth. But there's still some good stuff, some good opportunity there that is good. Finances should be good. There could be a little passion in there. Okay, I do hope this helps.